Okay. Juliet, what do you think has been the impact of the integrative technologies over the past 2 years here at the Business School at the University of Exeter?
Okay. Well, I think it's been a fantastic project, and I think students and actually teachers, academics alike, have benefited enormously from it. Specifically, the impact of the project, I think, has been, if we just reflect on the original aims and what lay behind the project at the outset, driven two main drivers: large increases in student numbers, secondly, an increasingly internationalised student population. And what we're extremely concerned about, and I think will continue to be concerned about, particularly in these days of anticipating increasing fees and so forth, is that we do a good job for our students in terms of their learning experience. And with large numbers and increasingly internationalised student body, it's really important that we can interact with students in lectures, that we have different means of communicating with them that really help to enhance their learning. So that's the point about doing this project. It gave us an opportunity to experiment with a whole range of different technologies in different contexts to see where and when they're successful. So across the field, we've experimented with a number of them, and just for example, using audience response systems within lectures, it's enabled us to use them in a formative way. I've used them in lectures where I'm able to see partway through a course or a particular topic how well my students are understanding something, so I can change what I'm teaching in the next lecture or indeed the second half of the lecture. It's allowed us summatively to get to the end of the lecture and see have they actually followed what we have been doing. You can use them in terms of trying to pick up and get some idea of where your students are in terms of attitude. So, for example, I teach on a climate change course, and it's extremely interesting to know where people are positioned in terms of a range of attitudes and opinions, and also what kind of background information that they come with. So it gives you a very nice picture when you've got maybe a room full of 100, 200, 300 students, with benefits, of course, for them that they can do it anonymously, etc. Other forms of engagement, I mean, using the video cameras, which has led to far more professional presentations, for example. We've been using the recording of lectures, which again has been another way that we've been able to enhance students' learning. So across this whole suite and package of different technologies, I think all of them, in different ways, in different contexts, have really supported students throughout their learning. And I think one of the interesting things is that's the feedback that we're getting from students as well. And so just last week, I had an email from a student who's moved through to the third year, sending me an email saying, what's going on, why aren't I seeing some of these technologies happening on my courses? And in fact, we hopefully will be able to put them in place for him. So we're actually seeing students asking us and wanting more of this technology if they're not seeing it in place. So I think it's been tremendously successful. And I think it has also for our international students, which is great as well, because I think, you know, they're here to benefit from a UK education. But I think there are times when they do need some additional support, because, you know, I find it truly amazing that they can take a degree in another language, and I think we should be putting in place some of that support for them. So I think it's been hugely beneficial across in a number of ways.
That's great.
Is that sort of enough?
That's
Yeah.
fantastic again.